Good morning. Today, our story is from the book of Exodus. The book of Exodus is the second book in the Bible, and our story is about Moses. We might not always know that God has a plan for us. God had a plan for Moses. We can trust that God has a plan for us too. Sometimes we might be afraid of that plan, but fear should not stop us. This is the desert. The desert is a very wild place to live. And there were so many stories that happened in the desert that having a small piece of it here in our church helps us to tell those stories. Moses grew up in a palace in Egypt. He was the adopted son of the Pharaoh's daughter. She had found him in a basket in the river where his mother had hidden him to save him from the Pharaoh and Pharaoh's men. He grew up in the palace. Even though he lived there and he was treated like royalty, he could see how hard the children of God, the Israelites, worked. He could see just how cruelly they were treated by Pharaoh and the Pharaoh's men. When Moses became a young man, he left Egypt and he went into the wilderness to live. And he became a shepherd. And he took care of his sheep. For many years, Moses wandered around, caring for his sheep. God needed time to be alone with Moses, time to show him which way to go. And then one day, when Moses was caring for his flock, he saw a bush. It was on fire, but it wasn't burning. And God called to him from this bush, "Moses, Moses." And Moses said, "Here I am." And God said, "Come no closer. Come no closer. Remove your sandals from your feet, for this place on which you stand is holy ground. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob." And Moses covered his face. He was afraid to look at God. And then God told Moses that he had heard the cries of the people of God in Egypt, and he had chosen Moses to lead them to that freedom. But Moses said, "Who am I? I can't do this. I can't lead these people out of Egypt." But God promised to be with Moses. But Moses was afraid. He was afraid that the people of God wouldn't believe him. And so God told Moses to lay his staff on the ground. And as soon as he did, the staff turned into a snake. And then God told Moses to pick the staff back up again, and right away, it became a staff. Next, God told Moses to put his hand inside his coat. And when he pulled his hand out, it was covered in spots. He had leprosy all over his hand. But then the second time, he put his hand inside his cloak and pulled it out. The spots were healed. His skin was clear. God told Moses that if the people didn't believe him after these miracles, well, then Moses was to pour water from the Nile River onto dry land, and it would turn to blood. Moses still argued with God. He was afraid he was afraid to speak in front of the Pharaoh. You see, public speaking made Moses feel very, very scared. And so God sent a special man to help Moses, his own brother, Aaron. Aaron would speak for Moses. Now Moses felt ready to lead the people of God to freedom. I wonder what it was like for Moses to grow up in a palace. I wonder what it was like for Moses to see how cruelly the people of God were treated. And I wonder, why did God choose Moses for such an important job?